800 more roads, but you've been on enough of them to realize they're not leading you anywhere. You know, drop the fucking rock and give up the ghost, so to speak. Yes? But we're hoping that the 40th road will work, or the 80th road will work. Even though the first 29 have revealed they're not taking us anywhere, we think there is a special road, and that's the hope beyond hope that a lot of us live in. You know, we're still hoping that the special someone will ride in and save us. You know, there's always this, the mental state thrives in hope because it can't deliver the goods. So it has to put more emphasis on hoping it's going to get better than just enjoying it being better, because it doesn't deliver the goods. All the goods it delivers are perishable. They're apt to be changed by volatile conditions. It can't guarantee, that's why it's warranty. Hey, you buy it, you have it, because you can't return it because it's empty by the time you want to return it. It doesn't work. It's not bringing a lasting sense of ease and comfort to people. That's the dilemma. So we're on, it's like a shopping channel. We're just, basically they package the same hope or the same formula, and then but it looks different. So you buy that cutlery and think it's going to be better than the last one you bought, you know. And of course, because you bought it, you say, hey, this cuts the steak better. But maybe does it? Probably not. But hey, you don't want to be seen as a fucking fool. You want to save your face. So you're not going to give up the ghost and admit you were wrong. And then that which is admitting you're wrong is basically wrong in itself. So who knows what's going on here. But obviously, nothing here is stationary. Nothing here is satisfying for some. Some have tasted it all, and it doesn't take 800,000 gulps to realize your thirst isn't being quenched. You can sort of get it and say, all right, I need to move to some other possibility. I don't actually know what that is, but something will lead you to read this or go there or hear that, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get the right invitation for you at the right time, and it will allow you to travel lighter here. And really, what more do you want as an action figure? As an action figure, what more do you want? Wouldn't it be enough to be grateful for that there's an ease and comfort in your present situation right now that isn't being produced by the situation but by you in it? Yeah, that you are what you've been looking for. Yeah, you are the pacifying agent. You are that which outshines circumstances and situations. And therefore, if you are, then that which you're relying on is always able to be relied on, because it's always available at all times. What more do you want than to find your own base that connects us all together? That which is seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, and touching is the baseline here. Everyone is vibrating on that one level all day. And everything else is built upon that foundation. Nothing is prior to that foundation and manifestation. Without consciousness, there'd be no contact. There'd be no one to be worried about what they have or don't have. None of this would occur. So, I mean, it's not like taking a huge journey to get back to what you are. Not who you are, what you are. And maybe that will be more than enough. Maybe that will be really the greatest pacifying balm you can find as this troubled movement of actioning. Who knows? For me, it's work. You know, it stabilizes into traveling lighter here. So wherever I am, the baseline is I'm here, and then you work up with it from there instead of I don't want to be here because you don't have any power. Or I wish I was somewhere else, which is a same thing, different ways of putting it, but really a reluctance to acknowledge what's actually happening right now, because we think it would be better or it was once better. Yeah. So all that is just work. I mean, it is so hard to try to move an imaginary thing. You can't get a good grip on it. You think you've moved it, but it doesn't seem to have been moved. It's frustrating. And of course, because every time there's a thought and you believe you precede it as the thinker, that thinking gives you a certain power, you believe, that you would have over the thoughts. Like, I should be able to stop thinking if I'm thinking. You know, I mean, I stop when I'm running, when I'm the runner, you know. I stop singing when I'm the singer. I stop, you know, reaching when I'm the reacher. Why can't I stop thinking when I'm the thinker? You know, I would think that would give me some sway over the thoughts, but it doesn't seem to. So that whole story of being the doer of everything gets totally squashed on the rocks of your own experience, you know? You can't seem to corral the thoughts. You can't seem to only have good thoughts, or what you call them. It sort of seems to be quite unruly, and the same thing with feelings. Feelings arise, and then you show up after and say, I don't want to feel that, but you felt it already. You know what I mean? Something pulls the trigger faster than you can pull the trigger. Life. Yeah. But of course, if you assume you're in a position of power, you're going to be a frustrated king when your powerlessness keeps being emphasized. That you can't make people do what you want them to do. They can't satisfy you the way you want them to satisfy you. They can't look the way you want them to look. None of it. It's just frustration on frustration on frustration until you get the message. You know, hey, I have a huge source of power when I admit I'm powerless. You know, why does that have to be an activity constantly of admitting, not admitting? Can it stabilize? Can't you get it? Can't you finally be surrendered, where you've understood something completely, like it's called convinced? You believe with certainty, and then there's an end put to it, and then you move to some other level of relaxation. But the mental state will keep making up the story, but you won't be beholden to it anymore. That's more like it.
Yeah.
Because the mental state is its assumptions are concreted in. It's not about the mental state changing. It's about what's fueling the mental state changing. Not changing, but it's like the cutting off of intention and interest is really what happens. So the mental state keeps seeing things the way it sees things, because that's its programming. Just like in Course in Miracles, they say the perception is imperfect the way because it sees things. That's its job. That's its programming, right? So when you perceive out of the eyes, you're seeing things. Yes? That's its programming. So this is programmed to see things a certain way. It's not about waiting for that program to be undone. It's losing interest in the program. Yes? And losing interest in the program is by entertaining the idea that all the programming is based that it's you. That's where the interest. So I'm doing it, and this is how I see things, and this is how I know it to be true. That's what brings it the light that it's using. Yeah? When that light is removed, yeah, you see things anew. There's a different, like Jesus says, when you have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's what happens. So it's more about, it's the same activity, but what's leading the activity. If self is leading, yeah, then you live in interpretation. If something other than self is leading, then you're moved through an interpretation. Yeah? You're not living an interpretation, but you're moving through an interpretation, which is different. It's much different. Yeah?